Hey everybody, Rye here, and we just slaughtered a bunch of Dark Elves in Loren the Amazon Princess. Things are going from bad to worse in a jiffy. The Dark Elves crumpled into a heap. Saren felt guilty beyond belief, knowing that they were not in their right minds. These elves had been bewitched, even Tabar. The demons will not stop until everything is taken everything from me. There was a clear look of pain in his eyes when he turned to face Tabar again. The elder raised his hand as if to call for another attack. No! Fight it! You must! There was a hesitation in Tabar's order, but then he ordered it just the same. Several Dark Elves jumped out from behind him to attack the party again. Mesfit shot towards his father, causing all of the Dark Elves to jump into action. Ashtran's army took the offensive. Loren, Saren, and the rest of the party had no choice but to defend themselves in the ensuing chaos. Oh man, this is not turning out well at all for us. Oh, for God's sakes, he's in the back row again.
You're dead.
Saren, switch with him.
Stand aside.
Alright, let's give him a potion to restore his SP and then attack.
Stand aside.
Yay! We murdered more Dark Elves! I should feel proud of myself, but not really. And Mesfit leveled up. Man, I feel bad for this guy. The desert winds whipped through the village, clouding everyone's view, but Tabar's magic shot clear through the haze. The Elder was fighting with strength he hadn't seemed to possess before. Tabar did not realize he was trying his best to kill his own son. Even though Mesfit was a formidable foe, he was no match for his father's enhanced magic. But even knowing that, Mesfit stood fast, hoping to bring him back out of whatever was controlling him. Don't follow my mistakes. Do not become what I have become. Tabar was blinded. He attacked Mesfit brutally, sending him to the ground. The party rushed to save Mesfit. Oh, Jesus. Oh, this is not going to be good. Alright, Mesfit. Full demon form.
You're dead.
Now we need to focus our assaults on them.
Got no time for this.
Heal up.
I hope this is slightly uncomfortable.
Dora, focus on her. Wait, Loren, why is she only hidden with, like... Oh, her SP is, like, all the way down, my bad. No wonder. We almost have her. Oh shit! Revive. There we go. Yeah!
Some things never.
Got her. Him. Sorry. Ooh, Magic Staff Inferno. This might go to Draco. No, it's actually weaker. Mirf? Polymusho? There we go. Mesfit growled and let his demonic side take over, but it did not faze Tabar. They ran at each other and traded blows. In an uncontrollable rage, Mesfit swiped at his father and he fell to the ground. Almost instantly he had realized what he had done and he stumbled to a halt. Father! He rushed to Tabar's body. Everyone, elf and soldier alike, stopped fighting to see if the elder elf has been killed. He's alive. They looked at Polymusho, approaching Tabar. He is just unconscious. Whatever it was that had a grip on his mind, I sense that it has fled. He only needs time to recover. He was being mind-controlled? By whom? Her. Who? I believe he's referring to a demon. She is near. Saren shuddered and looked around. This is the work of a rare type of demon, a succubus. Ah, okay, we are doing that mission. Her mind-controlling magic is truly some of the most dangerous, as you see what it can do. Turn a family against itself. Mesfit bent down into the sand to check on his father once more. Ashtran walked closer to Loren in silence. That demon may think she has won with the Dark Elves, but you need to tell her that she's wrong. Her next move is likely to target the Forest Elves and corrupt them as well. We will not allow that to happen. What of the other Dark Elves? Everyone looked at the mindless elves standing, still awaiting for Tabar's command. They look helpless without their leader. But they will not return to themselves until the demon responsible is killed. Mesfit stood up suddenly and started exiting the village at a quick pace. Loren jumped and realized he was going to apprehend the demon. Follow him. I'm guessing we're going to the outskirts. Oh boy. Let's go to camp first off. Because we have the chance to talk to everybody. I will be surprised if Mesfit has nothing to say. Wow, he really doesn't have anything to say. To the outskirts we go. Birds scattered in fear when Mesfit entered the trees. He stopped briefly as the whole forest seemed to creak and moan at his presence. Ray walked past him with a disgusted look, but said nothing. Mesfit took a breath and continued forward. The group pressed through the forest, looking for any signs of a demon. Mirf hesitated. I cannot go with you. The pain, it is too much to be in the forest along with demons. You are still not used to it yet? I'm not sure I ever will be. Very well. Go back to the village with the general. We'll return soon. Mirf nodded and left with a wary look over her shoulder. Loren led everyone deeper into the forest. The succubus could not have gotten very far. There was no breeze, no chirping birds, no wandering animals, nothing. Is it just me, or did this forest get really creepy from the last time I was here? It's definitely way more... Dora screamed as she almost ran into an elf woman standing silently behind a tree. Whoa, you scared me, sorry. Hi? The elf was unresponsive, staring straight ahead. Another. A Polymusho pointed to yet another elf standing stoically within the trees. Yes. Very, very creepy now. More slaves to the demon's magic. Do not harm them if it can be helped. Their innocence. Ray approached one of the elves, sick to his stomach from seeing his people rendered hollow. He reached up to touch the elf archer to see if he could shake him from his trance. When Ray's hand touched him, the elf suddenly grabbed him. The archer's grip felt as if it would break Ray's hand until he managed to pull it free. Dora screeched as the elf she was standing near suddenly lunged at her. More mind-controlled elves appeared and pulled out their weapons. We have no choice now. Ooh. I don't like the fact there's no music. This is really, really concerning. Ah! God damn it. Okay, game. Next time, please warn me when you're about to do that. Jesus. Why does it seem that Saren's doing so much less? Oh, tired. Fine, I'll just defend you.
You're dead.
Does anyone need healing?
There we go. Got some rubies and a potion. Always nice. They were forced to kill the elves. Loren grimaced looking at their bodies. What unholy magic is this? Demon magic from the lowest tier of Inferno. A faint giggle reached their ears, sending a chill up their spines. You flatter me. Whoa. Sorry. You can do that camera pan again if you want, game. They all whipped around and saw the figure of a demonic woman standing with surprising ease among the carnage. She took a hand off her hip and started to strut towards them, her high heels delicately stepping over bodies as if they were nothing. Who are you? Jewel. She stopped for a moment to read Misfit, but then she recognized him and smirked. My, how you've grown. You've used my gift to its full potential, I see. I'm impressed. Every muscle in Misfit seemed to clench. Do not look her in the eyes. She'll try to possess you. The party members promptly looked away and shielded their eyes, but Jewel merely laughed. I can't seem to move. Me neither. What's going on? Fear set in as their limbs suddenly were too heavy to lift, trapping them in their bodies. Loren, however, used all of her strength to reach the hilt of the hawk blade. She lifted the handle and the blade started to glow vibrantly. Jewel hissed as if repelled by the sword itself. You foul creature! Loren could only challenge the demon with a fierce look, which unfortunately allowed Jewel to work her unholy magic, penetrating Loren's mind. Within moments, Loren's will to fight disappeared and her hand fell to her side. Saren's vision tunneled. Loren did not seem to exist anymore. There was only Jewel in his eyes. She completely entranced him. There was a new color and music to the most mundane movements her body would make. Saren was completely stuck in her beauty. Beautiful. She was beautiful. Nothing could ever hurt something so precious. He would do anything for her. The potency of this once demon's magic was beyond what it could bear. Even the talented Apolloniusha was barely cognitive. But what was most unmistakable was the deep desire in the eyes of certain party members for Jewel and only her. Even Loren's wrath had melted into lust. Oh my god. Whoa! Jewel walked around Loren seductively, using the tips of her fingers to tease. Now, hasn't anyone told you it's impolite to stare? She moved next to Ramus, running a silky hand through his hair. He visibly shivered. Dora looked pained at the sight. Look what you're making me do. She grazed past Karen, eyes again using her eyes to ensnare them further. Karen's chest heaved. She had never felt anything so wonderful as Jewel's touch. You've all been a thorn in my lord's side from the very beginning. She dove in close to Ray's face and his eyes followed her intently. To his disappointment, Jewel broke away and fell towards Amakiki in almost the same moment. She leaned against his chest and he gulped. You couldn't just shrivel up and die. You couldn't even let our war take its course. You should have just stayed home. Jewel whispered directly into Sowser's ear. His back went rigid, losing all of his monk training in the blink of an eye. She then stepped over to Shambara, sliding her soft fingers behind her head and through her hair. Shambara's eyes were heavy and her smirk very pronounced. Now I have to punish you. Jewel walked up to Mesfit. He was the least affected by her charms, but he couldn't move a muscle. He could only growl at her. Smile. The succubus grabbed Mesfit's chin harshly. I hate to see you frowning so much. Saren screamed from inside of his head for Jewel to let Mesfit go. As if she could hear him, the succubus looked directly back at Saren. The succubus crept towards Saren. Her eyes seemed to be the only thing to exist in the world at this moment. Everything else was forgotten. Do you know how many times we've tried to kill you? She studied Saren with a placating look, running her hand down his cheek. She ran her fingers down his chin and grazed his lips. Too many. She smacked Saren's cheek, but he was still unable to shake from his trance. If we can't kill you, then we'll use you. Like toys. Jewel slunk devilishly in front of Draco and grinned. Wouldn't you like to be my little toy? I have the option? Oh good, I thought you were going to brainwash us. Just mark me down as a no-go for the toy thing. She flashed her eyes intensely. Draco squeaked and grabbed his throat. Oh yeah, Draco did give signs of being, you know, more into men than anything when he was trying to, like, woo us. None of you have a choice. You're all mine, and why? Because I said so, because I get what I want, and because you make it so incredibly easy for me. A raspy groan kept Jewel from ranting further. She looked around and realized that the sound was coming from Loren, no longer looking bewitched. What's that? Are you trying to speak? Or are you just moaning in pleasure? Loren's groan turned into a growl, steadily gaining volume and ferocity. Soon her mouth opened and she was able to actually shout. Her yell strengthened, louder, harsher. Loren was unleashing the most mighty war cry anyone has ever heard, looking Jewel dead in the eyes. The demon was no longer smiling. The sound was so loud she had to take a step back. Saren began to feel in control of his own body again. Arms, legs, head, mouth. Loren! Loren! It was strange for his first words, but her name filled him with a strange security and liberty that he had so desperately needed right then. How are you doing this? How can you shake my magic from your voice only? Saren saw Loren grab the hilt of her sword. The others around her made small movements as Jewel's magic faded completely away. No! Filthy mortals! You are all under my... The hawk blade flew out of its sheath and cut through the air just in front of the demon, only missing her by a hair. Loren's shout ended and she caught her breath. Everyone around her pulled out their weapons as well, now impervious to Jewel's charms. You're beyond annoying now. I'm bored with you, and I will do what that stupid green goblin could not. Mesfit! They all looked back to see the dark elf transformed into his demon form, and he was staring intently at Jewel. "Come here. Come fight for your master." Shit. Obediently, Mesfit pushed his way through the party members to join Jewel's side. No. No! Mesfit!